I'm going to look at is Thursday. Now, this is like middle of the day on Thursday, going into the week. Moon's in Taurus now. Moon is happy in Taurus. It's exalted in Taurus, just like Venus in Pisces is exalted and happy in Pisces. So there's this energy of like our emotions are a lot more stable. Maybe, you know, going through the week we were feeling a little like fired up, a little like our wounds were getting touched a lot, needing a little more like compassion from people. But with the moon in Taurus, it's like giving us this stability, especially like it is going to be crossing over through the week. So like a little earlier, maybe even Wednesday night, we're going to be feeling the moon like crossing over Jupiter and Uranus. Going over Jupiter, it should be fine. It'll give us like this feeling of being really stable and feeling really, almost being able to be really calm where we haven't been able to be for a bit. Definitely given us a little more like security when it comes to like trying to figure out who we are and things like that, if you're like really struggling with that right now, which Pisces can do. Pisces is really good at making you feel like you can't figure out who you are and like things are confusing, because that's Neptune energy. It's that confusion and fogginess that kind of gets in the way of you having a clear answer. But having the sextiles with Taurus energy is like giving this feeling of like we can ground some of this foggy stuff. We can make some of the foggy things make sense. At least if any of the heavier emotions we haven't been able to work through, this will be about the time where we're finally feeling like, hey, I'm making some headway here. I'm making some actual progress that's tangible, instead of me feeling like I'm like fritzy and like fired up all the time. It's like it'll start feeling easier as the week goes on. And then we have Saturn. Saturn is still sextiling Jupiter. It's going to sextile the moon too, because the moon is going to be moving through here. Like I said, early Thursday, late Wednesday, is going to be doing that too. So it's like we're going to be having a lot of opportunities to start like stabilizing our emotions that got really like put for a loop come Sunday. Like it's probably building in people right now, because this isn't going to like hit you like and you're not going to know it's there. This is something that's been with you for a while. If it hasn't been with you for a couple months, it's been with you for a couple years, and it's been since like the other eclipse cycles that happened and like flop things around for you, because we're coming into a new eclipse cycle starting at the end of this month, beginning of April. So we're moving into a whole new cycle here, and there's going to be things you've been carrying with you that are being forced to be taken care of right now. If you're not taking care of it, you're just going to be put in a lot of shitty situations. I'm not one to like doomsday or whatever, and this isn't a doomsday thing, but if you're being stubborn and you're being the person that's being crass and not wanting to be compassionate and not wanting to be understanding and just wanting to push your point of view and like have no adaptability or anything like that in this energy, then you're gonna keep being hit with situations that are like, learn to be flexible, learn to be compassionate, learn to actually show care to people that you actually care about, instead of acting like you don't care and you're a stone cold biatch or whatever. It's like there's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna come up and force you to face these same things that either irritate you, make you angry, make you scared, whatever it is. You're gonna keep having these situations come up, and if it's not with people you care about, it's gonna be with strangers, it's gonna be with random situations, because Uranus is in the mix with Mars. It's just throwing things around everywhere and like doing the most. And it's going to keep doing that until it finally gets into Pisces and eases up a little bit. But until then, you're going to keep getting these things. This is what you're going to generate for yourself, is this unpredictable chaos, if you're not like actively trying to do better. If you're not trying to learn where maybe mistakes you have made have hurt other people and taking accountability for it, where you're not learning to actually like love yourself as you are, and you're putting all these unreachable standards on yourself or other people. There's like a realism with Taurus, like being practical and being able to actually see what, like I said before, what you're learning with this new moon, like what you can control, and then what you just have to like let be what it's gonna be. So that's what this is trying to teach you. Like, there's certain codependencies where you are the one in control and where you can decide if you want to stop a certain thing, and then you take the action towards that. If you don't, then what's going to happen is you're going to be put in situations that are trying to show you that you need to do this thing. Now, the moon towards midday on Thursday is going to be squaring Venus. So some of these things that probably felt a little better Wednesday night are going to get a little tense on Thursday, because the moon, like, coming into like this square, which we're going to feel heavier going into Friday because it's going to go in the Gemini and like make a tighter square. This tension is like almost feeling like in your relationships that your emotions aren't being quite understood, because it's almost like this tension between someone's picking up what you're putting down, but maybe not in the right way, because there's a lot of things that are really like giving help in this situation, giving a lot of understanding, making people want to like be more open-minded, but like your close personal connections might have more trouble with seeing you as someone who's different, if that makes sense. Like the people closest to you might be like, oh, you haven't really changed at all, but they don't know like all the crap you've been working through by yourself because you just haven't been talking about it, because Pisces energy can be very isolating. So I would just say as as Thursday carries on and goes into Friday and things might feel a little tenser, it might just be better to like give space if you feel like things are getting a little too heavy. But if you're someone that can do well with tension, if you're someone like, because everyone's different, some people actually do really well with getting motivated to fix things when there's tension, as opposed to when things are easy and they just try to fix things to keep things being easy. Some people, they only get really motivated to create change when there's tension. So this could be the time where someone tries to have a tough talk about some way they are feeling with someone they care about. It would be a tough conversation, but it's doable. It's doable, but this would have to be people that have been really working on their communication, that really take it seriously. I wouldn't say like having a deep emotional conversation like this would be a great date night thing for someone you're just meeting, obviously. But if you've been with someone a while and like you're working through things and you know there's been things going on and you guys know that you can talk about things without someone blowing up and being nasty, like this would be a good like working with the tension kind of day, where it's like working through some tough things that have been like bottled up, like being able to get it out. It might be a little blunt, it might hurt a little bit with Mercury being in Aries, but if you're a strong couple, like this energy is really putting a lot of couples to the test. I don't know how many people have been seeing it lately, but as Pluto's progressing through Aquarius and all these other things are happening, especially like all the squares to Venus and Mars, there's been a lot of things happening with couples like out in, you know, general public, but also in like celebrity land and all those other places. It's like people are just having a rough time. And if you're not really valuing the commitment and communication right now, which is what Pluto wants you to value, is like that permanent commitment. If you're not in it for the long haul, like forever, it's really going to show you the things that it's like, you sure? It's going to keep showing you things over and over until either you're like, yeah, I'm absolutely sure. I'm so confident in this that nothing can move me. Or you're going to be like, yeah, I'm not sure. And it's going to give you enough to make you like leave a situation. Now, that also is different for everybody, whatever the situation is, because Pluto is at a new degree. Depending on what house system you use, if you use whole sign, it's going to be in a different house. If you use Placidus, it might not. I use Placidus, which is this style right here, where things aren't broken into like a whole house, like 30 degrees each house system kind of thing. I just like reading it better this way. But anyways, and with the sun being conjunct Neptune, this is also something For some people, this could just make them personally more daydreamy. But for others, it could be learning how to like express yourself in a way that because Neptune has a lot of kindness, it has a lot of like love with it, as well as being very confusing. This could be an easy energy to feel like okay, one thing to be careful of, especially with Taurus energy mixed in with this, I just want to say this: if you're having like a jealous lover spat, like this could easily be like this Neptune moon up here, like someone just seems very naturally flirtatious and they're not actually flirting. So like that kind of thing can happen, like, you know, insecurities, which once again comes all the way back to Chiron and Aries, that insecurity. But just watch out for that kind of stuff. Like if you know, like don't push a button just to see like what kind of reaction you're gonna get, because then you're gonna get lessons about the fact of like abusing people's emotions, which isn't cool. Like I said, this is very this is I mean, real estate, you want to look at the 4th house, Otto. But yeah. Right now the astro economy is very like emotional with how everything is doing all this up here. We'll be feeling a lot more how can I put this? We'll be feeling less in our feels and more like, man, I'm ready to like take action and do a whole lot of stuff as this month progresses, and more of this keeps moving out of Pisces and gets into Aries and gets into Taurus. It's like in Aries it's fast movement, and Taurus we're solidifying it and doing stuff with it, so it's going to feel better as the month goes on. But the first half of this month is going to feel pretty heavy. It's going to feel like we're being made to feel all the feels and then revisit the feels and then go through the feels again to make sure we understand the feels and that we have healed the feels. It's like, it's a whole lot of feels. And for people that usually aren't feels people all the time and usually are like a lot more logical, it's going to be a doozy, because that's the main thing you're being taught, honestly, is, you know, the emotions and like working through them and everything. For people that are at home in this, like some people that are like heavy Pisces, or, you know, might have like other placements that just really sit well with this Pisces energy, like even Scorpio risings too, because it's like in their 5th house, which is the fun house. It's like you're just getting a whole bunch of fun things, get fun ideas, do fun things with people, do dates, romance, all that kind of stuff, you know, the fun things. Like they're one of the risings that are gonna have fun. I would say a rising that's probably not gonna have fun with this is probably Aquarius. No, probably Aries. I would say Aries wouldn't have a good time because all this crap's happening in their 12th house. Having a bunch of crap happening in your 12th house is not fun. It's a time where you're exploring yourself and feeling very isolated from people, and it's just very heavy. I have thought about making either house series or whatever, but then again, you guys would have to like be at a place where you like know your houses and everything. We gotta work to that. But I can do like house, like rising series or house series, saying like, you know, what degree something's gonna be at and what it's gonna be like in a house and whatever. I can do that too. But anyways, Thursday. Like I said, there can be some doozies thrown in there as, you know, Thursday continues on, but like early Thursday, late Wednesday is gonna feel a lot more comfortable. Aquarius was getting that. Yeah, that's right, Otto. You are in Aries. Well, the thing is though, Otto, you're at a point being Aries. I don't know what your chart looks like though. That depending on everything that you have in Aries, if it's not just your sun, because sun is good for business, especially if you're doing like what you call it, like what is it when you, what is the word? when it's like your own business, you, what is that word? My brain, yeah, whatever it is, it's like if you're your own business, whatever that word is. My brain is just funking out. I don't think it's self-employed. There's something else. But anyways, if you're like sole proprietor or whatever, this like sun energy is good for that. It's also good for expression and really like putting yourself out there. But it's also gonna be a little painful because Chiron's up there, because you could be doing the thing, but then you're getting hit with a lot of things that just like really hurt your ego and make you wonder if you're doing the right thing, if you're going in the right direction, because it's right next to the North Node. And like the closer you get to the North Node, the more freaked out you get, because it's like you're doing the thing that you're supposed to do, and it's scary to do the thing, you know, like the main thing, like your main quest, and it's like you're heading, like you're not doing the side quest, you're doing the main quest, and that's freaking scary, especially when you have all these wounds over here next to it. And depending on how public your Aries house is going to depend on how much of your wounds people get to see. Like if it's below the horizon, there's a chance that people aren't really going to see your wounds as much, or even in the 12th house, because it's hidden. Well, it's hidden from you. Other people might see it, but it's definitely hidden from you. But Aries power. But if it's like above the horizon, like if it's like up here instead of like down here below the horizon, if it's up here, you're going to be feeling like everyone's just able to see the crap you're going through. That is almost like your wounds and the things you're going through are on display, either for people that are close to you, for whatever it is. It's like you're gonna just feel like everyone's seeing everything, like it's a show, and you don't want it to be a show because that's your personal private crap and it hurts. So it really depends on where your Aries is in your chart for if people are watching this happen to you, or if it's gonna be more of like you're dealing with it on your own, and maybe like very close personal relationships see what's going on, like maybe your family and stuff. Really depends. That's why I say like it's important to like know your chart and stuff, because you can see exactly what houses these kind of things are playing out between. Like, is it happening like between like your lover and like the things you want to do, like you're traveling and like all that kind of like all these houses represent like tons of stuff, like so much stuff. So that's why it's important to know where it is, because it can really narrow down like what's going to be happening. As this is very general. Like I have to give general like energies for everybody. I can't really give like the personal of like this is gonna be hitting you straight in your house. Like I can tell you that the wound is very personal because it's an Aries, and Aries is the self. It's like it's you, so it's like a very personal wound to you and your identity and how you identify. So it's a very like deep wound in that sense, so I can see that without like seeing someone's chart. But you're not gonna see like where it's playing out. Like, is it for the public or is it your private life? So yeah, that's Thursday.